Okay, good morning everybody. Today we are starting Unit 4 Part 1. So that is page. I'm taking a look now because I forgot. Page 43 in your book. Okay. Good morning everybody. Today we are on PE4 as usual. Unit 4, Part 1. And I am your host, Graham Armstrong. As always, check your vocabulary, please, before you do the work. So we're doing to page 47, okay? Page 43 to page 47. Check the vocabulary, any phrases, any words that you don't know, check in your dictionary. Remember, as always, please remember to check your vocabulary. Check your vocabulary between pages 43 and 47. Okay? And make sure you check the phrases, the vocabulary, anything that you don't understand. Okay? Because if you don't understand part of it, then you won't understand all of it. Okay? Today's lesson is giving information. Yay! Let's all get excited. Okay, so sources of information for the questions. So, not all schedules are called schedules, and not all timetables are called timetables either. But they can have the same job, but have a different name. So, for example, we have other sources of information that can be invoices, receipts, invitations, and advertisements. Now, sometimes we are receiving information and we are giving information. Yes, so depending on if we are giving or taking, I guess. Yes. So, which of the following is an example of a tour schedule, a business agenda, a personal itinerary, and an invoice? Let's turn the page and find out, or the slide. So, if we go to the bottom of page 43, you'll see 4 sources of information. Okay, and you have to decide whether A, B, C, or D are tour schedule, a business agenda, a personal itinerary, or an invoice. Okay, and so I can tell you that A is an invoice. An invoice is something that you give to somebody when you have done some work, or if somebody has done some work for you, you will receive an invoice. Okay, B is a business agenda. Now, a business agenda needs to have a timetable, a timetable of when things will happen, because otherwise people will want to talk and talk and talk, and then nothing will get done. So they have a schedule or a timetable of what will happen and when. So that is a business agenda. B is a business agenda. Now C is something that you make for yourself when you are traveling. Yes. So I make one usually when I am traveling, especially when I'm flying, because of the changes in time when you go to different airports. Yes, it can, depending on where you're arriving, depends what time it is. And whenever you catch a flight, it is always in the local time. So it is important to remember to change your watch or change the phone time so that to the local time, so that you know how long you have until your flight. So that is a personal itinerary or a personal schedule or just a list. It can be whatever you want it to be. It's yours. So yes, I use this a lot, especially like flying from, say, Korea to England, because sometimes I have to fly from Korea um, uh, to the Middle East, and then from the Middle East to the UK, and the time zones are really tricky to understand. So it's important to keep track of the time. D, 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 D. D is a tour schedule. Now, this is something that you get from the person doing the tour or organizing the tour. It is not something that you do unless you're driving, in which case it can be any time you like. But if you are going on, say, a bus or a limousine bus or a limousine coach or whatever, the time is what the driver decides, not what you decide. So that's important to know what time you will get there, what time things will happen, and what time you will leave. And it's very important to remember what time you are leaving, because if you are late, the bus will leave without you. Okay, on to the next slide. Using the previous slide, or page, carrying on from page 43, we decided that A was number 4, an invoice, B was number 2, a business agenda, C was 3, a personal itinerary, and D was 1, a tour schedule. Now, look at these questions, and from the invoice, from the business agenda, from the personal itinerary, and from the tour schedule, decide what the answers are. So, how much is the engine work? How much is the engine work? Well, the engine work is $150. Okay, the engine work is $150. Now you answer the rest of the questions. So, page 43 and 44. We can do that in Zoom class. Okay. Basically, what you have to do is read each paragraph to each other, and then you will be able to get the information to fill in the spaces. So this is page 44. The other page was 43. This is the second part of the questions. So what you need to do is read it to your partner. They will be able to fill in the missing spaces on their sheet on page 43 and tell you the information that you need to do to complete it. So this is the second part of page 44. We're going to do this on Zoom, and we're going to do page 45 on Zoom as well. Okay, this is names and titles, page 45. We're going to do this in Zoom class in your pairs, and also if you look at page 46, so page 46, common acronyms and abbreviations. Okay, so there is a big difference between acronyms and abbreviations, and they're not the same, even though lots of people think they are the same. They're not. So, for example, an acronym is the first letter of each word. So it is short at three or four, whatever, 2, 3, 4, 5 words are shortened, and they just use the first letter of each word, and each word letter is capitalized. So, for example, ETA, estimated time of arrival. Okay, ETA, so it's estimated time of arrival and that is the first letter of each word. So estimated time of arrival, so ETA, where a abbreviation is a shortened contraction of a word. So, for example, limited, LTD. Okay, all the letters are not capitalized. The first letter is capitalized, and the second letters T and D are not capitalized. So therefore, you have one word making, is just one word. An abbreviation is just one word, shortened, where acronyms are two words or more with their first letters used. Hope that makes it clearer. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we're on page 46 and let's practice. Now, you need you and your partner, one of you to read, the next one to read the writing, the information, and one of you find the information from the other person and write it in the grid. So you need to write the key information you hear and put it in the grid below. So key information is information that you need that is important. So depending on what your sentence is and what the sentence contains depends on whether it's important to somebody or not. Yes, so in the grid it has got a list of things that are important and that are for you to listen for. So times, days, dates, okay, events, locations, and people. So you just locations as well. So locations is places. So you just need to listen for that information from your partner and write it down in the grid. You only have 4 of them, and then to read, and then you will have got all the information that you'll need for the grid. So that's a good Zoom class for you. Okay, we will leave page 47 and 40. Just page 47. We'll leave page 47 for Zoom. So onto the next page. Okay, that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and have a great weekend. Bye.